So we just got back from the cardiologist that we saw. Come to find out, 4 years ago. I knew it was before the pandemic. My mom's gonna have to go to the regular hospital and be referred, and get another echo, and we'll see how that's gonna do. I had to help her fill out paperwork, and we were there early to fill out paperwork, and then it took a while to fill out paperwork, and then I waited until we'd done with the paperwork and turned it in, and then I had to go to the bathroom because I drank my 32 ounces of water before we left. Water with lemon. And then I come out and she's already gone. And because it's such a big place, it's not like her doctor's office, it's a bigger place. And they couldn't find her. I didn't know this was going to happen. I wish she'd come to the bathroom with me. It wasn't even a single stall. It was a whole big thing. I didn't know that either, but I hadn't been there in years. They couldn't find her. So I'm sitting there in the waiting room. I'm like, this sucks. I need to be in this appointment. I need to tell the person about her new med. I need to be in there. And plus it's just uncomfortable. So the front desk person had to go and look for her. And it's a big place. She comes back after several minutes, and she's like, and I'm getting impatient, and she's like, I'm still looking. I'm like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. It took her almost 15 minutes to find my mom. So I was agitated, of course, because they should just waited for me. It was earlier than her appointment anyway. I was only in the bathroom a few minutes, and it was before her appointment was officially supposed to start, but they took her earlier than it was supposed to start, so. I didn't know it was going to be such a fiasco. I get uncomfortable about stuff like that. But I try to, even when I was talking, I said, she could be able to hear me, and I'm sorry, I'm accused sometimes of talking too loud. Remember the last time when I was looking for my mom and they took her when I was in the bathroom? It was a smaller place, a lot smaller. But then I was shouting for her and I should not have done that. Not at the top of my lungs, but you know what I mean. And they're right, I shouldn't have done that. And so I got scolded for doing that. I was scolded after the fact. As in, they didn't even know. Then she's like, you probably shouldn't be doing that. There's other patients around. But I wasn't thinking. I was just thinking, I'm supposed to be there. It's frustrating. I'm supposed to be with my mom. I don't want to miss the appointment. I'm going through the trouble of going, And it's taken, I thought it would take a couple of minutes to find her, and it took almost 15. I had my clock, it was 12 whole minutes it took to find out where my mom was. And meanwhile, she's having the appointment without me. It turned out okay because the doctor hadn't come in yet, but it's just frustrating. It's frustrating. And like I said in the short video I created this morning, I never heard back, surprise, surprise, from CVS Corporate. I probably won't hear back from them. I'll probably have to keep calling. Meanwhile, someone else might hear the damn message on my voicemail. I don't care. I tried to reach my dentist, and I wasn't able to reach them. They put me on hold, and I had to hang up. But I was talking to them while I was going to the bathroom. It's not like I was in the bathroom talking to my dentist. I was put on hold. I was peeing. It takes time. It takes time to go to the bathroom and then to get your fucking coat off and that all takes time in the winter. It's not as quick as when it's not winter, It takes time. I put everything back on when we're in the waiting room to go to the bathroom, I knew she'd be taken soon. I had to get up, and then it's just, I'm just uncomfortable. There are some people like that. I've always been that way, just uncomfortable with life. I'm just uncomfortable all the time. I'm just always uncomfortable. You know? And I was just thinking about everything, you know. And so, as some of you know, I didn't. I was just a technical virgin. Okay, technical virgin. Okay. So with my college boyfriend, I did everything but, and I don't want to get into that. But the fact is, after that, I didn't want to just lose my virginity on a whim. So I kept getting older and older. And when I finally lost my virginity, I naively believed, I just didn't know. I naively believed that it was going, that if you're going to do it, you do it good. Yeah, you know, I just didn't know. And I lost it to my acting class partner who didn't really turn me on. Again, I was just tired of being a virgin. But I thought it would at least be fun. I thought it would be enjoyable. I didn't know that it was going to be sucky. I didn't know that but he, and the reason, this is all the same theme as I've talked about here and there, he believed that I was in love with him, and I was not in love with him in any way, shape, or form. I would rather, for obvious reasons, have been, you remember I said I could never in a million years be with Nikki? Well, I'd rather, who was in the future from then, not too far into the future, I'd rather be with Nikki than with this guy. You know, for obvious reasons. This guy didn't, he's the last person on earth I should have been with. But you don't know that ahead of time. I was naive, because I just automatically assumed that any guy was going to be like I would thought he would be, and he wasn't, and unreal. Unreal. Like watching paint dry. All these things, and then he tried to get me pregnant too. He told me he told me to made up some shit like you can't get pregnant immediately after your period stops or some ridiculous thing. And Sally later told me, she said, that's not true. He was trying to knock you up. He tried to say that I was in love with him. I just always had to be like that, and always wanting more, and always whatever, which explains why when I did my Alicia's World, I was in heaven. Because I was able to just, you know, but when I was with this guy, I would get to him, I gave my virginity, I was a little bit heavy, and he took pictures of me. And they were not flattering at all. They were just on some stupid little cheap camera, and they were not flattering. And of course, he's looking at them, he's like, well, what do you want me to say? Yeah, I didn't think they looked good either, but again, they could have, it's not like I always looked like that, even heavier, it's just he took horrible pictures. They were not flattering at all, he took horrible pictures. And again, we flash forward to why it was so intoxicating for me to do Alicia's. See, it all comes full circle. And even now, at my age and whatever, you know, it's